I absolutely love the peaceful mornings. I love to get up early. I love to get up and go outside, my coffee, watch the animals. My grandson helped me out this week picking tomatoes and just helping out around here. And he loves to come to Grandma's whenever he gets a chance, as do the others. I've been waiting patiently for my corn to ripen, but somehow I think that it's gotten beyond. But at least there's plenty of corn stalks, and we will put them up for the harvest party. Hello friends, Miss Kitty here. Welcome to my homestead. Today we're going to be canning up some corn relish. Now the first thing I've done is blanched my corn. I boiled it for 3 minutes. I'm hoping this corn's going to be all right. It was in my garden. We didn't get a lot of rain, but we're going to try her anyhow. And I'm just going to take a knife carefully and cut the corn off. Now my dad used to have a wooden block, probably about a 5x5, and he'd run a spike up through it, and we'd stick the corn down on it so it held the corn steady, and we'd cut it off. But today I'm just gonna try to get about 2.5 quarts of corn for this corn relish recipe, and we'll see what we can do. So we'll start and just cut her off. I wanted to get a lot more of this made up because it just goes so fast here in my home. And so we'll see how much we can get. Now you want to be careful if you're using a sharp knife to not get into the cob. Otherwise it's going to be kind of woody tasting. Okay, there's one. And this, some of it's peaches and cream. We did not have a lot of rain here in Michigan, and it affects the crops. This is peaches and cream. There's our corn. I got to get my jars ready. So now we have our corn done, and we are going to chop our veggies. Got my old faithful here. This lady I know at church got me some goat's milk. Now I buy my milk from the Amish, the Jersey milk, which I like. But she ended up bringing me some goat's milk, and I just love it. And it's so creamy. And she must process it right away and, you know, do everything right because it's so good. It just is pure taste and just creamy and pure. There's no goatiness to it or nothing. So we went there yesterday after church. She was going to bring me in some milk. And so we ended up going over to her place, and she showed me her goats. I'm thinking about getting a couple in the spring because I really would like to have some milk on the farm. And I know that according to what I've read and what she said, the goat milk is a lot easier on your stomach too. Anyhow, so we'll see what happens in the spring, but we might have some goats on the homestead. Actually, I did put my order in. Anyhow, she's a wonderful person. She's really sweet. Her daughters are sweet. I wouldn't just have a goat around just to have a goat. I really am thinking about the milk. You know, I don't drink store milk no more. There's a lot of stuff in the store I don't do anymore. Got a mixture of color. Looks pretty. Is that pretty? I'm going to go ahead and put this corn in my pot, and we're going to add 2 2/3 cup of white vinegar. I'm going to measure right over my pot. 1, 2, and I'm going to guess at 2/3. Yeah, okay. If you don't have the white, I'm sure the other will be fine. So after you get your vinegar put in, you want to add 2 cups of water. And then add 1.5 cups of sugar. And now we're going to add a cup of celery. I'm going to wash it. For the bunny. Okay, turn that fire down now. Plug everything else in it. Now, I've got the celery and everything right in my bowl, and I'm just going to add this. Oh boy, does that look good. And then you want 2 jars of pimentos. So I'm going to drain these. Okay, we've got our pimentos drained, so you need 2 jars. And put them right in and stir. Now we gotta dig out our celery seed, mustard seed, and salt. I need a teaspoon of salt, and I do use the Redmonds. So we're just gonna sprinkle. Teaspoon celery seed. Just used this the other day. We might put a few more in. We like it. Anyhow, there we go. And now we want 1.5 teaspoon of mustard seed. And you know, this was so hard to find last year. I just couldn't find it. And I finally did. My seed's flying everywhere, but I'm just going to guess at 1.5, like I always do. Yeah. And a few sprinkles extra. So now what we're going to want to do is bring this to a boil. And we're going to boil it 20 minutes. Now we're ready to can. And I'm going to keep stirring this. I want to turn this down a little. But it is nice and hot. And our jars are nice and hot. And then make sure you put juice in there. Like that. And you know, I'll tell you a little secret what my family does. We like them with scoops. The stuff is delicious if you get some scoops and just eat it that way. Yeah, just a little more. Yeah, we like it with the scoops. Just wipe them down and then get your lids. I'll put out a few. And hot. But this works better for me. And right into your canner. Here we go. Boy, is that nice looking. Holy. Lost one. Peppers. That one. A little hot on the jars. Woo. That's all right. So, okay, well, while I'm waiting on them jars to scald, I'll tell you a little story. So when I was a kid, me and my brother, Pete, my mother did a lot of canning, and she canned this corn relish, which is why I can it now. Anyhow, my brother Pete and I decided one night to sneak down into the basement, into the root cellar and the canning pantry down in there where my mother kept all of her stuff. And she had, I remember this wall of canned food looked huge when I was a kid, a little kid. But I remember looking up and seeing all these pretty jars of stuff, and my brother Pete and I got a jar of the corn relish, and we took it out under the apple tree. And my mother had given us some of them melamine, the old pink melamine plates. And we had them out under the apple tree. We used to go out there and play. But I remember we took that corn relish. How we got the lid off, God only knows. But my brother could figure anything out. We got the lid off and we hit that jar of corn relish. And I remember it being so good when I was a kid. I just loved it. And to this day, I love corn relish. So that's why I can it. Good memories. Good memories. And my mother never did know we snuck into her canned foods until years later, and we told her. She was a little surprised, but she didn't mind. She knew we liked it. Ooh, nice and hot. Okay, here we go. We get that. Turn up a little more. Vinegar, hot canning lid, ring, next, there. This one's ready, this one's the large one. Take this hot water and put it right up over these. One. Okay, so turn this up on high. And when this comes to a boil, we're gonna let it boil for about 10 minutes. And then they're done. Now we just wait. This one's so good. All my stuff away now. Last thing I gotta do is can some more tomatoes, just regular tomatoes. It's not like the last thing, but because I gotta dig potatoes yet, gotta get my pumpkins, gotta get my squash, stuff out of the garden yet, you know. But okay. Alright, we'll start putting our stuff away. Had a man sent over a bunch of jars and lids and rings, and I'm so grateful. He even sent a juicer, and that's something I've wanted for a while, so I'm just tickled to have all that stuff, because to buy it now, it's like a little pricey, but gotta have it when you can. That's all there is to it. So I am very grateful. Anyhow, so we're just gonna let them go. Once they get cooking, we'll come to a boil. I'll turn them down a little bit just so they're boiling. Process them 10 minutes and they're done. In the meantime, while I'm waiting on my canner, I'm gonna have a cup of coffee. This is called Fall Caramel Pumpkin Swirl. And I'm only making 1 cup. I just didn't have all my cups of coffee this morning. I hope you've all enjoyed this video. Not sure what my next video is going to be. I'm debating on doing something a little different. We kind of booted up the harvest party because my brother couldn't make it, and he's going to try to bring his guitar so we can play music and stuff. Hopefully that'll work out. So I hope you'll be watching for that upcoming video. It'll be a fun one. So I'll say bye for now and finish my coffee and just relax for the rest of the day. Bye.